Welcome to the Veracity Networks tutorials channel. Okay, to administer your hunt groups in the new Veracity dashboard, what you'll do is you'll log into login.veracitynetworks.com with your admin password and username. You should start off in the dashboard tab. There's other tabs here. If not, just click on the dashboard tab, which will bring you to a place where you might have to scroll down to find your hunt group, because it'll bring up auto attendants and users and stuff like that. You can click these little arrows right here to navigate in and out. I'm going to go ahead and do that real quickly. So we've got the hunt groups open. Closed now, but open again. And there's a couple things you can set. You can start off in the name column. If you click here, you can set your calling line identity. Let me scroll down a bit. And you can see your phone number and extension number here. You can see your call history. Now this sandbox is just a demo environment, so it doesn't actually have any calls in it. But if you were in your own with calls, you could click here on the View Call Details link to see even more detail on those. But mainly for administering your hunt group, you'll be going into Settings, the little gear wheel icon, and that brings up a bunch of different options. I'll start with the available users. You can shift-click to choose multiple ones at a time. You can also control-click to add or take away some, and then you click the Add button to move them across. Now the up and down part, you can move these up and down. Some of our call routing policies, that makes a difference. I'll explain that here next. Starting with circular, which is a routing policy that will start at the top of the list with the first call, and it'll keep going down the list no matter how many calls until it gets to the end of the list. Then it'll circle back up to the top and start at the top again. That's different from regular. Regular will always start at the top of the list. Typically, you'll have an environment that uses this. Would be an environment where you've got like a front desk or a receptionist where you want that person to always get the call, and if they're busy, you've probably got a backup receptionist or front desk person, and it'll continue that way. But each call will always try to go to the top of the list. No matter if the last person on the list hadn't gotten a call all day, it'll still start at the top each time. Simultaneous will hit everybody in the list at the same time until somebody picks up. Uniform is often misunderstood. Uniform goes by whoever's been idle the longest will get the call. However, when somebody first logs in, they'll go straight to the top of the list and they'll get the next call. And if two people have just logged in, whoever logged in first will get it, then the second person will get it. If nobody's just logged in, then it'll just go by whoever's been idle the longest. And then weighted call distribution is an interesting one. This is where you set the percentage. If you had 10 people taking calls and you set them each for 10% each, they'd get 10% of the calls. You can set people for 0%. They will get calls, but only if everybody else is busy on a call or not available. That typically happens in an environment. Say you've got the 10 call takers plus a team lead plus a supervisor. If you put the 10 people in there at 10% each, then you put the team lead and the supervisor in at 0%, and you put the team lead above the supervisor in the list, the team lead will only get calls if all 10 of the other people are already on the phone. And then if the team lead and the other 10 people are either off the phone, unavailable, or on the phone, only then will the supervisor get a call. So that's a good one. And the way you set those percentages is you can go through edit or detailed settings. They both go to the same place. And we'll pull that up next. And then what you'll do is you'll go to edit again. You would think you could hit edit in the first one and get to where we're going here, but we don't have it set that way. Hopefully we'll get that changed. But here, as you can see, is where you can set your percentages. They do need to add up to 100%. So if you got 3 people, you can't just do them 33% each. You got to do one of them at 34%. And then the last thing I'm going to show you is how to set up if you've got something called call forwarding selective, meaning you've got a platinum hunt group, and this is used for after-hours call handling. What you can do is you can, again, we're still in the detailed settings, go into Calling Features tab, and then we're going to go into call forwarding selective. We're going to turn it on, and we're going to edit it or view it, and we're going to set some rules basically. And so I've already got some example ones here. You can click the add rule to do the same as the example ones I have here. Might as well just pull up the example one. I've got a closed schedule set up on this one. Scheduling is covered in a different tutorial, which I do recommend, and if you need to learn how to make a schedule. In this case, I've already created a schedule. It's a closed hour schedule, which I've named closed schedule, so it's easy to identify in the drop down. And I've got named closed hours rule, and you can do it so only certain numbers it does this, but typically you'll set it for any and all phone calls coming in. And what they'll do is this is set to go to typically an answering service. And so the default number that you've got set up here, in this case, I've got it set to go to star 55, which means go to voicemail for extension 201, star 55201. If I wanted to go to voicemail for extension 101, it'd be star 55101. I got it set here for active. Got it named correctly, got it set to the schedule. And so any calls that come in during that closed hour schedule are going to go to the voicemail for extension 201, or it could be a full 10-digit phone number or a different extension number. Click save when you're finished on that. And then save again here to save the change of turning it on. And that's all there is to hunt groups. Thanks for watching and have a great day.